guys, Oda King Live coming at you today for a new little series I'm going to be doing on my channel. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going through my vast collection of anime. If you've watched my anime tour or much of anything like that, you know I got a lot of crap load of movies. So what I did today is I'm going to do my top 10 favorite anime movies out of my collection. This was tough. I had a solid 20, and then I had to chop that in half. So I might do a top 10 part 2, if you know what I'm saying, because it was really hard to nail it down to 10, because it's not just the best ones or most epic. These are top 10 personally favorite to me. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So number 1 is a bit of a cheat. It's Otaku no Video. Now, this is an old school. I mean, we're talking, it's two, I would guess it's OVAs put together, made into a movie. But it's Otaku no Video 1982 and Otaku no Video 1985. So, I mean, you know, you're going to have to be a little bit of an old school anime fan to really know this. This is, you know, early Gainax. I mean, we're talking, you know, old school anime like Gunbuster, you know, Space Adventure Cobra, you know, Lum, all the original classics. And if you know this, then you know where my name comes from. As I use the term Oda King, it's an English-Japanese hybrid word for Otaku King. And what it is, it's a regular guy who ends up falling into the otaku crowd. You know, gamers, anime fans, modelists, you know, cosplayers. And he really gets swept up into it and fights against society pretty much, arguing that just because he's an otaku, just because he's an anime fan, that doesn't mean he's a bad person. Because, you know, especially in Japan, it's looked down upon. So he wants to create pretty much the world of otaku. And I really resonated with that like 20 years ago. And so I've been using the name Oda King for a long time, because I follow the beliefs that he pretty much does. Trust me, check it out. It's excellent. Has a lot of live action little quirks in there. Little, every once in a while it'll be talking to a real otaku and the voice is blurred and everything. It's hilarious. Check it out. Do yourself the favor. I recommend 100%. Now, these are not going to be in any particular order here, because that's way too impossible. Number 2, the first Pokemon movie. Now, if you've seen this, you know why. Especially at the time, Pokemon was really really cheesy for kids. And the first movie, not only seeing it in theaters, but just, you know, that whole cry scene and, oh my god, he's turned to stone and Pikachu's crying. Come on, it's on there. It really turned it in theaters for me. It was, you know, I wouldn't say it's a huge milestone, but it was a bit of a milestone just being in theaters alone. And being the first Pokemon movie, and it's still one of the better ones, so it's on the list. A lot of these are going to be more older school, so apologies if you're a newer fan. Tenchi Muyo the movie, number 1. I was always a huge Tenchi fan. I followed it, you know, from the original comic series into the manga, into the everything, the American version, all of it. I'm a huge Tenchi fan. So the first movie for me, it really upped the budget of Tenchi itself. It was in THX and everything. It was really high quality, and for me, seeing Tenchi in movie form was amazing. And this movie is actually very good as well. So if you're, you know, into harem space battle shows, check it out. Check Tenchi itself out, and tell them I sent you. Next up, without, you know, doesn't need any explanations here, is Akira. I saw Akira back in the 80s. I didn't know what anime was when I saw it, and it blew my mind then, and it still pretty much, you know, can blow your mind now. It really has withheld through the time, and while the manga itself, of course, is superior due to the fact that it's way longer, it's amazing, and it continues to be amazing. And if you haven't seen it, go see it. I grew up on the Orion dub. So the new Pioneer dub to me just sounds weird. For me, the Orion dub is superior, but check out whichever version you like. I don't honestly think I've ever watched it in Japanese. Maybe I'll do that. Next up, again, going back in time here, Yurusei Yatsura Lum, Beautiful Dreamer Movie 2. Lum is a really old show, and it's a real classic. And Movie 2 took it to a whole new world. It really made it more adult and really brought in a Twilight Zone effect to where they, were reliving the same day over and over again, and how they could get out of that trap. An amazing movie, and certainly if you're an old school Hanarm fan and a Lum fan, check it out. It's hard to get legit because this movie itself normally runs $100, but hey, at least it's not the fifth movie, I think. I can't get it, and it's $200 right now. Amazing show, check it out. Next up is another classic. This one really takes me back. The Street Fighter animated movie. This is the re-release, to my knowledge, that had the shower scene left in. The infamous Chun-Li's shower scene. So, this one is a classic, and I saw this a long time ago, and it really blew my mind at the time because this was kind of outside of maybe Fatal Fury, this was the first kind of really good, video game anime movie. The fights were amazing. The American music was even quite good. And it's immortalized, and I love it. It's unfortunate that the other Street Fighter movies really couldn't hold up to it. I wasn't too big of a fan of Alpha and the others that followed, but it's great. Now, this one was a tough one for me. I had to pick one of the Ghibli films, obviously. I went with Kikis Delivery Service. I had Castle in the Sky out. I mean, Totoro, they're all so good. But Kikis, for some reason, I don't know, it really hit me in the feels. Totoro did too, but I had to go with Kiki's Delivery Service. It's the one I always come back to when she's trying to fly with her powers, and I don't know, for the Ghibli feels, I went with this one. And I mean, the cat and the Phil Hartman story and everything, is voice acting. It's epic, and it's the Ghibli film that I chose in my first top 10. I know I could do a couple more, but this is the one I went with. And then next up is a shiny and weirdly bent, I don't know, it's got some weird bending effect here, is the Gundam Wing movie. I had to choose one of them. I know the original Gundam series had some good movies, but I went with the Wing one because it really, again, upped the budget, up the drama, and to me, it really was fitting good with the series itself. So I went with the Gundam Wing movie. Got it from Blockbuster, $10, and that was my Gundam movie pick. And then I had to go with Perfect Blue. I was looking at the Satoshi Kon movies. Perfect Blue was in theater. It was excellent, and it really, it was a real good movie, for a psycho thriller. And it was the one I just had to choose. I was really aiming towards Millennium Actress, but Perfect Blue made the cut. See it if you're into, type of psycho horror, crazy movies. You won't be disappointed. And last but not least is the one that really blew my mind, End of Evangelion. So, as anyone who's watched, Eve all the way through, the ending of the series was just terrible. You were expecting a nice big battle, and what you got was psychotherapy. So, the backlash was so huge, they had to actually go back, make a movie, and this movie was phenomenal. That Asuka fight, in the with the EVA Series 9 or whatever they were, was amazing. I watched that part probably 30 times over. I've watched this movie probably 10 times. It really hit me in the feels, this movie. If you're an EVA fan and you haven't seen this, what the hell's wrong with you? The new movies are good, but this is the original classic ending of the series. and it's a must-watch. Get it! Alright, that is top 10 anime movies from my collection. Leave a like, leave a comment if you want to see another top 10 part 2. I might do it at a later date. We'll see how this goes. Later!